Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer Extra, the bonus podcast we put out midweek because we're just generally quite nice like that. And we've got shit tons of extra news that we just didn't have time for in the main episode. I'm your host Gaz, and joined in the Never a Straight Answer bunker, as always, we've got the fabulous Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.
Oh yeah. So how's your midweek been, sir?
Yeah, busy.
Been followed by any strange men tall lurking in black suits?
But I got my eyes out. I think they might have listened to our last one and
potentially, hopefully,
backed off.
Hopefully they backed off because they know we're onto them.
Yeah,
that was the whole intention of this episode, you know, to make them aware that we know where their game, sunshine.
We don't play.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you've enjoyed your week. I'm enjoying my week off.
Yes,
lots
You've been
to do.
Out,
bit of
lying
shopping,
on the couch.
bit of this, bit of that. Got stuff, you know, bits around the house to do. Bit of Xbox, bit of movies. You know,
yeah, you gotta have a bit of Xbox.
I'm like a king of my castle, surveying my estate.
That's it. That's how a man should live.
But we've got lots of extra stuff we can talk about today. And following our Men in Black episode, we're going to look at the world's most what's the word I'm looking for?
Internationally.
No, kind of it will internationally recognised as the most teeming hotspots for UFO activity. Yeah, let's say. Yeah. So we're going to look at all the 8 most kind of frequented areas for UFOs. Yeah. And see what all the buzz is about and why potentially they go in these places. Why do they go to these areas? And why do they always go to the same places? It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so, you would have thought everywhere would be spotted.
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you? Yeah. You'd think that they'd be, if there was enough of them out there, they'd have a bit of a mooch about. But it's like when you go on your holidays, isn't it? You always end up going to the same place.
Who says they're not mooching about around here?
You don't know. But they might have kind of like, certain areas that, you know, like ley lines or things like that kind of attract them. Or
I always think
historical areas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I always think of one of the Star Treks. I think it's Generation.
I don't just mean historical to us either. I mean historical to them. They might be visiting areas that we hold no significance to, but to them they've got some sort of historical significance.
Well, if we spotting stuff that's weird in certain places, you know, like Bermuda Triangle. There's one. There's another one in I think Japan. There's another one in Russia. There's other little weird things that have been going on. Yeah, you know.
It's funny, isn't it? How, they might be able to see things that we can't. And these areas that have become a hotspot for sightings for us are actually gateways to other dimensions, potentially, or stuff that we can't even comprehend.
Well, it definitely seems to be key indications that there are certain areas, like, let's say, which keeps cropping up all the time, which seems to be Greece. There are things in Greece that, like,
slippery things in Greece.
Or there are things that are hiding.
Good for cooking chips.
And chicken.
and chicken. And roast potatoes.
Yeah, definitely a roast potato.
Sorry, I'm getting hungry. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll get into that. We've got like that coming up a bit later on in the show. Like I say, it's the extra, so we take things a bit kind of more relaxed. On this episode. So we've got a few lighter stories. How's everything going? Also joined in the studio is Mr. Sleepy J.
We heard you in the last one, didn't we?
He was snoring
in the corner.
Snoring away.
Like a good little boy.
Good to have you here anyway.
Yeah, man.
It is late. It is like, I mean, people, do you know what? We have listeners from the States, and I say to them, you should come on the show. Yeah. And they say, I don't know, the time difference is a bit kind of a bit, fucked up with us being in the States and you being in the UK.
No, it ain't.
It's not really, because we record.
It's like midday over there.
It's literally like probably the most perfect time for you to come on the show, because it is probably around about nearly
about 10 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the morning here in the UK is when we're recording.
Yeah, so it's about 5 hours back. We're saying about 10 o'clock.
So, yeah, it's around 10 o'clock in the evening there.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah.
So, probably even a bit earlier. So, yeah. You're always welcome. Anyone who'd like to get on the show to come and have a chat about anything. You know, if you've got a topic that you find interesting and you'd like our sort of opinion on it, then drop us a message on the usual... or a British, or a different way of looking at things. Even UK people, anyone from the UK, anyone from anywhere. If you want to come on the show and have a chinwagger with us, get in touch through the usual methods over Twitter, email at neverstraightanswer@gmail, or just go to the website. You can get in touch with us over that. So I've got a few bits of news I'd like to talk about.
Yes,
while we're in the mood.
Yeah.
So I found this story. So do you know the hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Happened in the last episode as well. Do you know what? Technology, the Skynet. Skynet's just trying to, while the Men in Black are trying to sabotage us. So do you remember the little girl who gave that big speech about climate change?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was she called?
Oh, I can't remember. She wasn't...
she was called...
Too dull for me.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta.
So little young Greta... Right, there's a photo that was taken 121 years ago. Has sparked a hilarious internet conspiracy theory that the teen climate activist Greta is actually a time traveller. Who landed in 2019 to save the Earth. What? So the image shows 3 children basically operating machinery in a gold mine during the Klondike Gold Rush back in 1898, and it was shot by Eric Hegg. In the Yukon territories in northwestern Canada, and today it's part of the University of Washington Special Collection Archive. So the photo, like I say, it's basically 3 young kids working machinery like sluice boxes and stuff, and this young girl in the picture is the absolute double of Greta.
Yeah, no.
Now I've seen a lot of these
doing that and then turns into a time traveler.
Well, it's not like it's funny that because obviously it's this is an instance of a time traveler coming back from the past, but she might have made a fortune in gold, and then invented a time machine to come back.
Where was that picture taken?
In 121 years ago during the Klondike Gold Rush.
Right. Oh well.
So, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the time travel thing. I mean, obviously, it was fun, and it's a funny little thing that's gone around on the internet.
Yeah.
But there's loads of photos where you see people like Keanu Reeves, and who's the other one now?
There's quite a few.
Put the bunny back in the box. What's he called now?
No idea.
You know who I mean.
No.
He's in Face Off, and he's on Con Air, and
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage,
yeah.
I can't believe I forgot Nicolas Cage's name. There's a picture of a guy who looks a lot like Nicolas Cage that suggests that he's
when
him from the past.
Era or something.
Yeah, something like that. Where like it was a proper old photograph.
Yeah.
So people genetically, there's only kind of a certain amount of facial features in different combinations. The people who do look like other people. Well, so actually, I don't think it's too out of the realms of possibility that this girl just looks like Greta.
Well, apparently we supposed to have come from 8 fellas.
Well, apparently we're all made in God's image. So
yeah, but.
We all came from 8 fellas.
Yeah, but
that was one hell of a party.
Yeah. Yeah, but in the God's image, how can you tell the image? Because what you see is not what's actually there.
Oh, true. I don't want. It's too early in the morning to get into philosophical debates like that. Anyway, So, what do you think? Time traveler? I don't think so. No. If you've got any, if you've seen this going around and you've got an opinion, get in touch.
Yeah.
We've got a story here. Hunter and Jazz, a dog and a giraffe, become best of friends.
Whoa!
Oh, who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
So, Jazz the giraffe was abandoned and was taken into a rhino orphanage.
Yeah.
But despite being out of place in a rhino orphanage, still managed to make a friend.
With a dog?
With a dog.
Why not a rhino?
Well, because rhinos are fucking thick-skinned and not very friendly, I should imagine.
Well,
when Jazz the giraffe was abandoned at birth, he was brought to a South African rhino orphanage and it was a bit out of place, a bit lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But he'd been rescued by a farmer who basically found him in the wild, weak, distraught, and basically just out
death doors.
He was just like looking for. He just needed help, really. The Rhino Orphanage basically took them in, but the place wasn't really equipped, for the giraffe. And obviously the company wasn't.
Weren't exactly pleasurable.
So surrounded by rhinos, Jazz might have been a bit worried about finding a friend, but he quickly adopted a certain watchdog, Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, Hunter.
Yeah.
Bless you. Hunter's been caring for Jazz ever since, sitting with him, even sleeping beside him.
Oh,
that was quite cute.
Yeah.
Caretaker says, they're amazing. Says that they've really bonded.
Yeah.
So, bless him.
That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the dog.
Sounds like a Disney movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
The dog and the polar bear. What was that?
Oh, there's a video on YouTube, and basically every I think winter, this polar bear comes up to this shack, and there's a dog outside, and basically it is so brilliant how they get together and they like
they have a pint.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, all right, what have you been up to? Still
together.
Here?
They're not attacking each other. They're friendly to each other, and it happens season after season.
Do you know what? It happens more in nature than you'd realise. To be honest, I think there's a mutual. I mean, if any animal has got enough to eat and it's perfectly content in its surroundings, then it should have no beef with any other animal. They're not on the food chain.
It depends where you are on the food chain.
I suppose.
And a lot of things are in between. That's the problem.
Maybe it just thinks, I've battled one of you dogs before. You're not the easiest dogs to, easiest creatures to kind of think. They just keep coming and biting me. Can't be asked, and I'd rather just give it a bit of respect.
I just put my paw over my nose, and you won't be able to see me.
Yeah.
In the background.
Oh well. Got a couple of more stories. Have you got anything you want to talk about?
No.
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 You're lazy boy.
No, man.
Heck, I don't know how many times I can say this. I say they might actually consider sacking you as a co-host.
Well, yeah, then I've got one for
Go on. You said you had some questions for me.
Yeah, I got some questions for you.
Yeah, go on then. You can give me some questions, and then we'll... In fact, do you want me to do this one last news story?
Yeah, do this.
And then you can ask me your questions, because I know you're dying to. And then
6 little questions.
Then I've got the...
I know your answers.
Okay, and then I've got the top 8.
Yes.
UFO hotspots.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
Sounds pretty good, actually. I'm pretty impressed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Right, so, okay, UFO... basically left strange landing marks during close encounter with terrified fishermen. I'm pretty sure this is a rendition forest. I think this is... sorry, I'm not... There. We've got another story. That was something else I was looking at, sorry. So mummified lion along discoveries near Egyptian pyramids.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be weird as well, because they never used to do that to
no, not to lions and stuff. So
it was in one of the tombs, I believe.
So basically,
I believe it might be on its own.
Yeah, well, the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities has revealed recent discovered animal mummies, saying that it's basically contained a lion cub alongside other animals. The lion cub, though, in its mummified state, it actually looks like the depiction, in The Lion King.
Yeah.
That sort of like that.
Yeah, with a bag over its head.
No. Do you know there's like the cover or the logo for The Lion King? There's a sort of a one colour tone lion, and it's not got any detail. It's just kind of like the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, that's it. It just looks like a shape, if you like. But basically, a selection of animal mummies have been discovered for the first time ever. Basically, at the famous pyramids site in Egypt. The collection believed to date back to the Egyptian late period, about 664 BC to 332 BC, include lion cubs, several crocodiles, birds, and cats. They were displayed in a makeshift exhibition at the Steep Pyramid in where's that? Sequoia, south of Cairo. where they were found.
Found location.
So,
that's a bit piss taking it. Did they draw the eyes?
Yeah, they would have drawn. That would have been the Egyptians, I think, where they draw like it's not like someone's fell asleep at a party and someone's come in with a Sharpie.
Yeah,
and started drawing moustaches and dicks on people's faces. It did kind of look a bit like that.
It's a bit strange. This seems like they've stopped all archaeologically digs going on over in Egypt at the minute, and I don't know, for the past 6 months there has been loads of activity going on. Yeah, and it's like, what's going on?
Well, the Step Pyramid was one of the last 11 11 pyramids found.
Yeah.
In the area. So basically, the area's tomb dates back as far as the First Dynasty, which was 2920 BC, to 2770 BC. And the mummified animals were found by a local archaeologist, according to Dr. Mufasa. I was going to say Mufasa. Wasn't that the fucking Lion King's?
I think it was. You like the Lion King?
Mufasa.
You love with the Lion King, man.
Hey mate, I actually really liked. I digged on the Lion King. Was a good film, but I don't want you to kind of. It was Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities.
Ooh,
I know that was a bit of a mouthful, wasn't it?
Big job.
Yeah. So basically the discovery of all these mummified lions is just a lovely surprise. He said it's not really a lovely surprise. It's like a bit it's strange. It's something different.
Well, not necessarily strange, but because then it puts it out of context of it shouldn't be doing that, but they might have done that again and again.
We already know that the Egyptians kind of worship cats. Yeah, they were very kind of fond of the cats.
Yeah,
mummified cats were quite common to find, but a lion, very scarce. You know, like at the time, very rare. So what's better than if you already think that a feline animal, is a god or part of something to do with the gods. Yeah. And then a lion shows up and you find someone turns up and goes, look what I found. Yeah. Isn't that going to be a bit more impressive than a regular cat? That's more godly. Yeah. So to be buried with the bigger cat makes sense to me. I think it's in terms of being an important person. If you think you're important, then you'd be perfectly reasonable to be buried with the biggest cat you can find.
Well,
Surprised
but
he's
it
not
depends
a
on the
lion
god.
in there, or a tiger.
The god might of the cat will symbolise something. So it depends on the whoever was buried with the animal.
Yeah,
is or her religious. Which god did they follow? Which god did they believe in? Which god they didn't?
Well, they were very big on the cats because alongside these items were found wooden and bronze cat statues, a rare stone scarab, and the large, pretty much described as the largest in the world. Scarabs are a type of beetle, and they were very popular in terms of like the art sort of look of them. They were also incorporated into jewelry and paintings and stuff like that. So
it's a symbol of some sort.
So yeah, it's a pretty interesting story. I think the fact that it's a first time find and no one's ever found anything like it, but it makes sense that it's cats to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To let us know what you think. Pretty interesting. What's the weirdest thing that do you think they've found in archaeology?
Oh, that's a tricky one, that, because I would have gone probably the Asgard lines. Yeah,
they were weird. Yeah, because obviously you couldn't see them unless you were flying over.
Yeah, or I think it was Jerusalem. They found it, like the oldest. It seemed to be like a gathering area. They're still digging it at the moment, and they keep finding new and weird stuff. Basically,
I think the coolest thing I've seen, like they've just discovered out of nowhere, was that city? Is it in Peru? The one where it's in the middle of the jungle and it's a bit kind of like I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, and you know what? Did you hear about?
It's kind of like the Lost City, isn't it? Like I can imagine that being laden with gold.
Yeah.
Just covered. But it's all kind of like pyramids, isn't it? But when you kind of see aerial shots of it, it's fucking amazing. Looks great. Well, I'd love to go see it.
I think it's Madagascar where I think there was about 3 or 4 ex-SAS men went on an adventure and they found the...
6 SAS went on an adventure. Sounds like a fucking movie, that. Go on. What sort of adventure did they go?
The White Monkeys.
Fuck's sake, mate. That's a top... do you know where's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when you need him? He could play that. They've got to go through a trek through the jungle.
He's probably been there and done that.
Sweet.
But yeah, and suppose they've left. And
Dwayne "Rock" Johnson running through the jungle.
But I haven't heard anything about it since.
Okay, let me know if you hear anything.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to have a little check-up on that.
Okay, cool. Well, give us your... So you said you've got some questions for me, which I'm quite intrigued at. So let's have your questions. I'm going to sit back in my chair. I'm going to relax. And I await your line of... No, I feel like I'm being interrogated. Come on, give us your line of questioning.
You will tell me.
We have ways of making you talk. Go on.
Right, well, it's on the MIB fight.
Right, okay. So what, you're going to see what I've picked up, what knowledge I've learned?
No, I just want your opinion on a few questions that pops in my head.
Perfect, go for it. Yeah, I'll have a bit of a crack.
All right, how many MIB agents do you reckon are actually here on this planet?
I think they try and keep their group small. I don't think they recruit so many. I think, do you know, if you look at the movies, when they look at that and they go, oh yeah, well, we've got Agent J, we've got Agent K, and then they moved into the international stuff, and then it was like high T, and they had to kind of adapt it. It would have been better if, it'd be better if there was literally just as many as they were in an alphabet.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you want to keep your organisation secret and small. More people you've got involved, more chance you've got of people finding out.
Well, true, but if you're needing people all over the place, you know, you've only got a certain amount of hands. You can't bring in like.
How do you get that you need them all over the place? Because you just send the same agents to work on different cases, like Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, but it's not like
they never.
Be like
they weren't loads of them. They went out all over the show.
Yeah, but these devilish creatures might be up to all sorts of stuff for all
we know. Making trouble in my neighbourhood.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, the amount of weird stuff that goes on around, and what we was talking about, the missing 411, like the people through there, you know what I mean? The amount of people that go, what was it worked out? Something like 1.5 million people go missing every year.
Well, if you'd like to find out a bit about the 411, we'll be talking about it next week.
We will.
Yes.
We will.
So it's our topic next week. We'll be talking all about the missing 411, and should be a good episode. Save it, Taylor. We'll get into that. So come on, next question, son.
Okay, next question. Would you like to be an MIB agent? If you had the opportunity to.
If I had the opportunity to be an MIB agent,
and if you would, why?
No, I don't think I would.
Why not?
Because as far as obviously the if we're gonna go on the movies as canon, right? Yeah.
Well, no, go on what you know about reality.
Okay. So I've been recruited by the MIB. Yeah. They tell me if you want to be part of our organisation, you've got to kind of have. The only reason why I'd entertained for a role is because I'd be a loner.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any family connections.
Yeah.
Nobody would miss me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I could walk with nobody, get rid of my fingerprints, get rid of my identity.
Yeah.
Right. So, I wouldn't want to have to kind of detach myself from the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be this ghost that you could never have a relationship. You could never settle down. You could never have a friend and tell people what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a case of being so disconnected from humanity. That you're beyond humanity now because you're involved in an organisation that obviously has a lot to do with aliens.
Yeah, but
acknowledges the fact that aliens exist.
Yeah, but if it would, depending on what they say, the reason why we want you to be an MIB agent,
because we
need
think
you
you're
to
really
save the
smart.
world. We
want you to save the world.
Your photography could help the world.
That's never going to happen, no, right?
So, you don't know.
Well,
never say never, man.
Listen, do you know what? I think the fact that Bill and Ted are on that. Bill and Ted have already, it's their music that's going to unite the universe. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from. But if I can see where you're coming from, if you had a certain skill or a certain set of skills,
that you can have your normal freedom at let's say
but
the age of 50.
They'd never let you do that. I mean, obviously at the age of 50. Yeah, but that's crap because your best years are behind you.
In your head.
And then you don't even remember any of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, you're just oblivious. You may as well just be like, whoa, wow, what the fuck am I doing now?
Yeah. True.
Like Kay, be a postal worker.
All right, then near the end,
no offense to postal workers, love you guys.
You're about to retire.
On a post before 1.
But near the end, where you're about to retire, if you go like, you know what, I'm fucking sick of all this hiding. I'm going to tell the world. I'm going to go out there, get on the internet, blah blah, agent, whoever.
Yeah, that's what I need. Another thing. Yeah, it's like
would you do that instead of retiring?
I'd probably be killed. I wouldn't. The MIB. I wouldn't think that the so nicey as they are, or CIA or whoever runs it, were that nice that they'd be like, don't worry about it. We'll just erase your memory and you can pop off and have a nice life. Yeah. If you wanted to leave, and they probably it'd be a case of
without them knowing,
bit of cyanide in your soup.
You fuck off.
Fuck knows me. I don't know.
It'd be hard, I suppose, if they're looking after.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And how do you exactly? You've
they?
been chipped while you've or whatever. Yeah. I don't know how these things work. Yeah. Paranoia. Yeah. You never know. So go on.
Okie dokie. All right. Where do you reckon the MIB are located?
In the Hollow Earth.
You reckon?
No. I've probably in a little office in on an industrial estate
in Tokyo,
in the middle of Philadelphia.
You reckon that? Well, yeah, I gotta believe that they'd be close. There'd be at least 2 agents within near cities.
Yeah, probably
close
Washington, maybe capital cities. Yeah. So I'd say London, like Hong Kong.
Yeah, and with
New
the technology
York.
they should have, they might even all be in one.
Yeah.
Location,
they could literally have Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
They have these.
Technology.
They have these buildings that are kind of like temporal doorways where they all link to
mini wormholes.
Yeah, little wormholes to the next sort of sanctum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you could argue that. So go on.
Go on then. Right. If you were to become an agent, and what would be your prize at the end of it? As in, what would you be paid? How much would you be paid? Would you be paid, or would you be doing it for?
I'd be doing it because I'm a what are they called, son?
I don't know.
A patriot.
A patriot. You're doing it
I'd
for
be
the
doing
patriot.
it for the fucking freedoms and the the survival of my species, bruv.
So your pension, you're at fuck all.
Well, no, obviously, if I've saved the world, they're going to have to sort me out. It's like that scene in Armageddon where it's like, listen, guy, none of us want to pay taxes again.
Yeah.
We've just saved the fucking world. Yeah, I think the least you can do, putting my life in ultimate danger, is to hook a brother up. Well, I think a Domino's every Friday night, a few quid in the bank, never have to pay taxes again, and a nice place to live is the least the government can do for me.
No. You know what would happen?
Go on.
Because you've been wiped, you've been cleared, you do not exist
They probably
anymore.
just say I don't exist. Yeah. Well, there's
at retirement, you'd be seeing your grave.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Save me money. It'd save you talking.
That's what I'm saying. Why would the Men in Black let you leave in respects if you just said I'd had enough?
Yeah, but you could have been caught up in the early years and gone like, oh, I've got nothing to live for, or I wish an opportunity would come along, and then just at that point where you're at your weakest, that someone comes along.
It's like that when people say,
you.
how did you become this, that, or the other? And it's like, I just fell into it.
Yeah.
It was like, how did you become a Men in Black? Well,
someone offered me 50 quid.
Well, my dad was a Men in Black, and, I thought it was, getting the family business, Yeah, my dad's dad was a painter and decorator, but, he became a Man in Black.
Yeah.
There's shits and gigs in it.
Well, my last question is, how do you get picked to be an MIB?
Well, how Will Smith got picked was he chased down an alien in just being a police guy, and he chased down an alien, and then that was it.
So
he was
just
good
got
enough
up for an alien.
He was there out there being a policeman doing his job, and he was. I don't know why he was chasing him.
Caught the alien, didn't he?
Well, did he? Did he catch him?
Well, he let him go afterwards.
Yeah, because
he fucking scared.
He chased him down, and then that was enough to impress Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Hey, man, this guy chased down a fucking cephalopod.
Yeah,
on foot.
Yeah,
and he's like, that's no easy task. I'd like to see what he does with a bit of training.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Very well, didn't he?
Yeah, but so I think another thing that you need to take into mind when you're being recruited into the Men in Black, is to think outside the box.
Definitely,
as Will Smith did in that famous movie, where he squeakily pulled the table over to him, didn't he? And did his business or did his test.
Hey, he has to
like
share,
everyone else was fucking like struggling though. I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
But it was like these are the sort of street smarts you need if you want to become a Men in Black. Yeah, we don't want no half-assed fucking ripping your paper through your pants trying to draw.
What, are you saying you're a Men in Black then?
What?
You said we.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying I'm Men in Black. I'm saying I'm thinking hypothetically as a recruiter. Yeah. So I'm like, these are the qualities that I'd be looking for if I was trying to recruit a man in black or a woman in black.
Yeah, I'd test them in society for at least a couple of months just to see on their reaction.
How do you know that these Men in Black aren't following UFO people or people who've been looking into it and having a bit of kind of fucking outside thinking and thinking, I'm woke, I'm looking for the aliens, I know they're here. Yeah. How do you know these Men in Black following these people aren't following them because they want information off them or they want to find out what they know? It's because they're looking to recruit them.
Yeah,
they've obviously got a fucking an interest in UFOs. So generally, it's like, well, let's see what we'll tail them for a few months, see if they're the right stuff. Nah, they're not.
Yeah.
Look, he's eating a McDonald's now. Fucking,
that's me fucked then.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
they're doing something.
They'll tick certain boxes, and if they don't tick the boxes, then they move on, and that's why they'll never see him again. They did, and this is why, like, when the Men in Grey, and people turn up and say, "Oh, we would like to talk about your experience," and you tell them to piss off, or
if you're giving the wrong answers to the
questions that they're asking, maybe I don't know.
It's the first contact.
I hope that answers your questions.
Well, then again, there's a thing of them being telepathy.
Well, there's a thing about them being non-human as well. So it's like there's reports of them being human, but there's also reports about them being non-human and a bit strange looking, and like you say, having telepathy and all sorts. So moving on, we're going to go into the top 8 UFO hotspots that are located around the world. From basically, there's been reportings of UFO sightings for many years. And people always assume that it's America. Do you know that's got the most?
Yeah, it's always technology in it that
we actually did one a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? About the most hotspot or the most sightings in the UK.
Yeah.
And just this year, and there was quite a few sightings, weren't there? And I mean, there was over certain cities, like Manchester actually had about 9 this year.
Yeah, it's like,
I think not that many, but still 9. It's pretty good. Well, at number 8, we've got Chile.
Yeah.
Chile is often mentioned as a country with the highest record numbers of UFO sightings due to its low humidity and high altitude ridges and clear skies.
Not a lot of people.
Not very many people, but obviously very little pollution as well. And Chile has become a famous favourite amongst UFO seekers from around the world. The country has even launched the CEFAA, Committee for Studies in Anomalies in Aerial Phenomena, and the government body which basically the UAP's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena under the control of the Chilean Air Force.
Which so the US probably have a little bit of control of.
Well, they're taking it seriously, is what I mean. It's like they've
but
the
we're
Air
not going to
Force
get the
runs
info.
that. So there's that, and obviously there's the Parnell Observatory in North Chile, located in the Aquiline Desert of Chile. The ESO's the Parnell Observatory is the best astronomical observatory site in the world, and a flagship location for Europe's ground-based astronomies.
Yeah, because it's above the clouds, so it can.
Oh yeah, it's high altitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of other sites in Chile that basically have been kind
spotted these objects.
Well, it's a big, like I say, because of all those reasons, it's a pretty big hotspot. The next, which is number 7, Wiltshire, England. Mysterious patterns have appeared in fields in Wiltshire, just 1 mile away from equally bizarre Stonehenge. Many sightings have occurred here, including large disc-shaped objects hovering above the site.
Yeah.
Corn circles, and massive obviously the massive ring of stones, Stonehenge, which dates back to 31 BC.
Yeah.
Or 3100 BC, and is listed as a World Heritage Site. Obviously supports the theory that ancient aliens built the landmark. And they also consider the area as a landing pad for spaceships or location markers. It's obviously got a lot of kind of history. Yeah. I've been Stonehenge. Have you?
I passed it. Yeah.
Oh, we just we went straight up, man. I went. Yeah, well, it was with a guy who used to work with. Well, you used to work with mine.
All right, yeah.
Said, give me your heritage. Give me your heritage site pass.
Did you get any feeling when you were there?
Yeah, it's very kind of you're there. It's a present. You feel like you're kind of on hallowed ground, if you like.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, it's got energy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where you see it so much.
Yeah.
It's just different being there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like most things, isn't it? It's good seeing it on TV, but when you're there, it's a whole different
ball game, isn't it?
Yeah.
At number 7, Area 51, Nevada.
Ooh, yeah.
We all know a bit about this. So the
Just
US military base. 100 miles from Las Vegas, commonly known as the UFO conspiracy capital of the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
The USA government refuses to acknowledge that they believe that the area is a storage facility for UFOs and other crashed alien spacecraft.
Well, they're not no more because they're
they're
all
all over
base
the place,
now,
aren't they?
Yeah.
I can imagine that they wouldn't
keep it there when everyone's looking at the fucking thing.
Yeah, I reckon that they do that a lot with other stuff as well. Because it's like, do you think like all these organisations that like open out, like FBI and all the CIA and all these other organisations, do you think they're gonna turn around and go, oh yeah, I reckon they don't even have it on books that this stuff's going on.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because if anyone does question about it, they can say, well, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just the visual and the communication. That's all you need on that.
Yeah, definitely. So Area 51 has always been a hotspot for US. Well, ever since the Roswell incident. Yeah. Another area that's pretty much kind of teeming with UFOs is it Sedona in Arizona?
Oh, that rhymes.
I know it does, doesn't it? Sedona in Arizona is one of America's most popular destinations for spotting UFOs.
Yeah.
Nightly tours go out with visitors equipped with night vision goggles, binoculars and telescopes, and the amount of activity is recorded is staggering, including reports and sightings of orbs, portals, aliens, and even Bigfoots within the large desert, high deserts. It sounds pretty interesting. I mean, I'm going to have to look into this because I love the look of Arizona as well. It's such a beautiful landscape and country, place. So the mysterious Bradshaw Ranch. Hello, Dad. It's the Bradshaws. Also draws numerous tourists located deep within its national forest. and it's reported to have been basically confiscated by the US government because it's housed one of the biggest powerful interdimensional portals in the planet.
Whoa.
So they basically confiscated the grounds because they believe that there's a portal there that's interdimensional. Rick, get your portal gun. Visitors are not allowed in the National Forest at night, but several tours operate, and they will take you out there, says, until, you can stay out there till dark.
In case you get kidnapped.
So, aliens.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't mind going out there,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd say, like you asked the question before. If I had the money, I had no problem with money in that. What would do? I'd go
out alien hunting.
Yeah, go and check. I'd pay money
job
for people to go and investigate it.
Well, here's a place that you might like to visit, but you'll be gone till November. It's Wycliffe Well in Australia. The UFOs are not an uncommon sight in Wycliffe.
Yeah,
in Wycliffe Well. They're known to appear at the beginning of the day in the dry seasons of May to October. So if you're in Australia, get yourself over there.
Yeah, get some photos or video if you can.
Yeah, so basically it's a UFO hotspot, or one of the top 5. Well, it is number 5.
Yeah.
Hotspots in the world, guaranteed a sighting every couple of days. Visitors can stay in a cabin in Wycliffe Well Holiday Park, located at 236 miles from Alice Springs.
See, I'd do that as well if I had no issue with money.
Well,
another area.
If you're looking for somewhere a bit colder, Russia, the nice. M Triangle is famous basically for it's a weird zone that basically is located in a remote area near the Urals mountains in Russia. The M Triangle is one of the most mysterious places in the world and is discovered in 1980s. Recorded reports of watches that stop and bright glowing coloured lights that appear in the skies. UFologists consider this a sign of an underground facility where strong energy emissions come from. This wave, basically electromagnetic energy, it usually results in colours, sounds, and other phenomena.
Yeah.
So but do you think that's just kind of like an aura? Because obviously that's what the aurora comes from. Electromagnetic energy.
Yeah, but then it might as well been a meteorite from millions of years ago that was like had a massive magnetic field and stayed there.
Okay.
Well, it's not straightforward. You know what I mean? It's not as you would say normal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, at number 4, is it number 4? Or are we at number 3?
We are. Yeah.
Joshua Tree in California.
Yeah.
Joshua Tree is a 29 on 29 Palm Highway, about 3 hours drive from LAX. And the area is known to have many underground waterways and features a high mineral content. Joshua Tree National Park is one home to 300 miles, including a unique white crystal quartz hill behind a giant rock. Visitors often go in search of hidden alien bases, and it's rumoured that they're located somewhere beneath the desert. But when they mentioned a large crystal quartz rock, or a hill, made of crystal quartz, that might could have some significance to why they're travelling to that area. UFologists believe that the Joshua Tree site on the 33rd of North parallel, just like Roswell, is a research behind the 33rd North parallel providing a location for most UFO sightings. So they're saying that these parallel lines is the reason why that these are hotspots, because they're all following this line of a 33 degree. Yeah,
which I think Stonehenge is on.
Probably.
I believe.
That makes sense. Even Dr. Stephen Greer is obviously he's a controversial ufologist, has found that the centre of study for an extraterrestrial intelligence and has disclosed projects which seek the disclosure of alien information. each week long expeditions is limited to 25 and include training with Dr. Greer himself.
Oh, I'd do that.
So that sounds pretty good.
Man, yeah.
4 or 5 hours with him, and basically he'll tell you all of his bits and pieces about the area and what's going on out there.
He believes that UFO aliens aren't here, but we found the technologies of aliens that used to be here.
Yeah, definitely. The next one is number 3. Is Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell has been at the heart of UFO scenes since July 1947, and the military announced that it had found the remains of a crashed UFO in the desert nearby. Ever since the legendary Roswell UFO crash, conspiracy theorists have claimed that, obviously the skies have been littered with UFOs ever since.
Yeah, it's opened it up.
Of course it has.
Definitely. But there was UFO reports beforehand. Let me,
do you think?
No, there is. There's proof of it.
Oh, all right. Okay, I didn't realise that they were actually still. Yeah, it was just the fact that one that boosted it up. And
that just give it a little firelighter to its back end, and it sparks it to bring it more to the mainstream, and it's taken from then to around about the 2000s that it started opening up a lot more. So it's been a long journey, but the truth we'll get there in the end. Well, some generation will.
Well, I think that might have been it. Actually, I think we've gone through all 8. Oh, there you go. Maybe
there you go. Well,
there you go. Maybe I did. Maybe I think I did.
Roswell number 1.
Roswell was number 1, the best, the biggest hotspot area. Potentially.
You couldn't argue that either, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say so, but I mean, it was like all them guys went out there to storm the base and they didn't see anything.
Well, yeah, but that's what they said.
And again, if you guaranteed a sighting at some of these sites once every couple of days, why aren't there better photos? Why aren't people out there going, well, there's one due in a minute?
Well, there used to be in Florida. There was a place I'd love to have gone in the 90s.
In the 90s,
Gulf Breeze.
Okay.
And what would happen is every single night, and this was every single night, you'd see a light show of like a big ball in the sky, and then a little ball would come out of it, fly around, doing all these weird movies, and then
like
go
the
back in.
And
yeah,
shit,
yeah. I mean, it was really a good place to go. Cool. I would have said the number 1 place to go. I would have loved to have gone, but after I think it was after about 4 or 5 years, it ended up getting less and less, and then it stopped.
All right, okay.
And it was like, that's such a shame. But there should be still loads of footage on the internet of these orbs, but brilliant sites. Used to be brilliant sites.
Cool. All right, well, there you go. There's your top 8 hotspots. If you want to go UFO hunting, get yourself out there, and potentially you could get a visit from the Men in Black yourself.
Yeah, or become one.
Yeah.
See how much you do get paid.
Definitely. Next week, we're going to be, or this week, this Saturday coming, we're going to be recording episode, what was it, 65?
Yeah.
Episode 65, which is the Missing 411.
Yes.
We'll be deep diving into the Missing 411, see what it's all about, see what the crack is, because there's a new documentary out about the hunted.
Yeah.
The hunters.
Sorry.
Basically these are professional woodsmen who were out there. They've never had issues, and then all of a sudden they're just vanished.
Yeah.
There's no reason why these people are disappearing.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking into it pretty deep next week.
Yeah. We won't give anything away, though.
I won't give too much away just now. Oh, yeah. Obviously, we'll try and be as spoiler free as possible until then.
We'll be because they're already out there now. We'll be.
Oh yeah, the documentary's out. We will be talking about it.
Yeah.
Of course we will. So yeah, if you want to get in touch or you want to chat with us or be on the show or I've got anything to add, or I've got a random question for us or anything, just give us a shout by going to the website at neverastraightanswer.co.uk. You can email us via that, or you can email us direct at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can hit us up at direct message on Twitter at NASA_never. Or check out our pretty pictures over at Instagram at Never Straight Answer. Yeah. I think it was a shame that we couldn't get just that one tag for everything.
Yeah.
But never mind. That's why the website exists.
Yeah.
If you want to help us out and you like what we do, get over to the website and think about joining us on Patreon.
Yeah.
We give you some extra content. You get access to competitions and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be launching our Christmas countdown
on the 1st of
on the 1st of December, run up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Not going to give too much away just yet. We'll tell you a bit more on next week's episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then plus, we've got lots of stuff coming up.
Yes.
That it's audience participation. Big shout out to Tennish podcast, the top. Basically, they're a top 10 lists podcast.
They are.
Every week they come up with a new top 10.
Yeah.
Last week I listened to a really cool one. They run down the top 10 VHS sales.
Oh, right.
Based on consumer
buying,
retail sales. Across all VHS. And I think it was the 90s.
Oh, right.
Of the 90s. And I was surprised. There was a fair few in there that, I totally guessed. But would you believe that 7 out of the 10 were Disney movies?
You know what? I could believe that,
Yeah. Well, if you're interested in top 10s and they're very entertaining, get yourself over to Tennish Podcast. They're our featured podcast through the whole of December. We're giving them a bit of an early start because it's a new feature that we're trying out. And, they're good lads, so go over and subscribe to them.
Yeah,
and if you've not already subscribed to us, think about doing that because, well, I've looked into this. And, even on YouTube and some of the analytics, the people who are listening aren't subscribed. In fact, more people who are listening aren't subscribed than the people who are subscribed. And that's so like people watch our YouTube videos, which is essentially the podcast.
Yeah.
And the more people who are watching us, generally aren't subscribed. So
see,
get over there, subscribe on everything if you know what's good for you.
Yeah. It'd be good for us.
Well, it's good for you as well because it means you never miss an episode.
That is true.
And then when we've come up with, you might think, I don't fancy that topic this week, but next week when the notification comes through, you can make that decision all over again.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we'll be always on different topics.
And you're always welcome here. So anyway, that's enough from two Manx. I've been Gaz.
I've been Tilly.
And we'll catch you next week on another episode of Never a Straight Answer.
Yeah.
Peace
out.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.